as you can see, we've dyed all the shirts in pie-shaped color wedges. Look down there. When you're taking the shirts off the table, you have the cardboard to soak the water out of the shirt gently without moving the dye. So the shirt's being dried by yeah, I'm a master. I know what I'm talking about. Oh shit. You know, when you put cotton on something and it drains the water out. Anyway, you take a shirt, you make sure that the excess dye is falling off on the table, and you drop the shirt carefully so that it immediately shoves some of the water out of the shirt. It gives it a last little push, so the color dyes are definitely pushed into the crevices, so you don't get any white left. For a really rich textured shirt, you don't want any white. There will be white appears over time as the customer washes the shirt. You know, like 20 washes later, they'll start to appear a little bit of white, and it will look neat. It's one of the cool things about tie-dye is that it's a metamorphosing art. Pick up the shirt like that, turn off the dye. If you can see the table, you want to look really close with the telephoto. The table is covered with plastic, and then I took tape and made a border. I took clear packing tape, put it on the edge, and then folded it over to create a wall. And right here is a gap, and that's where my bucket is to find the extra dye. We only just got set up, so the table's not tipped enough. We didn't realize, and so you can't really tell until you do your first batch. But it's better if the dye runs out off the table a bit more. And again with the flop, ta-da! That way you don't get splash, but you get the dye off. Now, and then you, like I said, the table should be more tipped. Everyone knows how to do this part, I'm sure. Everyone sat at a restaurant or cafe with a table that wobbled. So you folded up a piece of cardboard or something, napkin, put it under the table. And now, a bit more. Now we're talking. And all this dye is another color. Typically when you have a bunch of bright colors with black, what you end up with is teal, which is a kind of a greeny bluey, gray greeny bluey. And we'll dye something else that color when we're done. And then we clear space. You get your white sauce, which you always have handy, in your dip bucket. Keeping a dip bucket of clear water, of cleanish, warm water, so that you can always rinse your gloves in between colors, so that you don't get black onto yellow or blue onto red, etc. We have it, an odd rag. Dye in my coffee, my tea.
You didn't drink your tea?
So, I'm going to sweep the dye first with my rubber glove to the gap. Because this is perfectly good dye. There's absolutely no reason to not use this dye. It's activated because of the urea that's in the dye that's in here. But in the big buckets that I mixed up, that are half full back there, or a quarter full, there's no urea in there, so that dye will last for up to a month. It's better to use it within a couple of days though. there's 2 tablespoons of urea in each of these, which helps the dye saturate better. You get brighter, deeper colors. Oh, this is the color, look. Look. This is the color. You can see that? Teal. You'll see it on some finished shirts as well. So now that it's been mixed with the shirts, it's got salt and sodium carbonate in it. Salt and sodium carbonate are what catalyze with the dye to literally burn the dye into the shirts, into the natural fibers, which means you can dye wool, cotton, rayon, and silk. But only one kind of rayon. There's 2 different kinds, and you never can tell until you try it. One's made from natural fiber. The other kind is made from wood. The other kind of rayon is made from minerals, and it does not take this kind of dye. But you get some really cool effect with that. So now I've saved the dye, and as you can see, look at that. That's enough dye for, well, at least one big shirt, or a couple of little ones. Then we clean off the table, and the plastic leaked, so now I've dyed my mother's white table. She's going to love me all the more, because she loves her son so much that
things like that don't matter.
Sorry, Mom.
Clorox should get that out, yeah?
It's okay. I lived in her belly for, renovated her womb for 9 months. She can't really hold it against me. So, anyway. So we get it like this. But then, because we're going to be putting white shirts on here, we must make sure there's no dye left. Obviously, there's lots of dye left still, but that's what this is for. Rinsing. Yay!
You like rinsing?
I like rinsing. On Teletubbies, this is where they say, again, again, again. Teletubbies. Teletubbies.